Hey, welcome back to Velux 18. We're leaving a little bit late tonight. We're just gonna run out and try and get as many addresses hit as we can in a fairly shorter amount of time. I'll explain to you guys why we're leaving a little later, later on. We got plenty of time to talk as I drive around, but it's cold out here. Look at, there's like, anyway, that's like ice. It's like ice on the dust, on dirt, on the truck. So anyway, yeah, it's chilly out here. So I'm gonna go get in the heater and we can cruise on down the road and see if we can't get some units today. Yeah, shoot, let's go. Let's go. All right, we're getting down the road. Left a little bit later. My wife was dealing with a she got a little hitch in her giddy up, so I was making dinner tonight and getting Gus ready for bed, carrying him into bed after he fell asleep, all the stuff that she usually does. So started a little bit later, and so we're headed out here. We're way out here in the country again, but it just seems like whenever I have an assignment way out of the way, I end up with 2 or 3 of them right next to it, so it kind of works out for me. So we've already ran a couple of the new ones just when I first started the night, and we haven't had any luck yet, but we pressing on. So I'm gonna get on down the road here. We're gonna get off at this next exit, and then shoot, I'll catch up with you guys in a little while, let you know how much success we're gonna have tonight, because we're gonna have some success. I just don't know how much. Y'all, we're gonna get 3, 4, 5. I don't know, but I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. All right, well, we got one on the hook. Took us a little bit, but we got one. So we got another address to run out here, so I'm gonna go swing by and see if we're gonna have to double back out here. Hopefully we do. So then we'll run this one back to the lot, then we'll come back here and grab the other one if it's here. So we're just gonna swing by real quick, so we're not gonna drive all the way back out here unless it's there, right? Only makes sense. So we're gonna try and be as efficient as possible, and that's the plan, man. But we got one. We got a bunch more addresses to hit before the end of the night, and it's getting late quick because we started so late. So we gotta go. Let's go. All right. Well, we ran by this other address, and we were looking for a pickup truck, and it was just an alternate address for the pickup truck. It's not where where it's registered. It was just an alternate address, so I thought we'd run it since we were so close. We ran it. They had 2 cars in the driveway. There is an attached garage, but when you're looking for a pickup truck, it's really hard to fit a pickup truck inside a garage. It's not impossible, but most people don't, and so that's plus 2 cars parked in the driveway as well. It just wouldn't make a lot of sense for that to be the place. So that was just kind of a shot in the dark, and we tried it and it wasn't there. So we'll focus our attention elsewhere on that one. And there's a couple that we could try to hit on our way back, but they take us about, I don't know, 15 minutes out of route, 20 minutes out of route, and they're not very promising, if I'm just being honest. You can tell when you get something that's assigned that you have a good like a good feeling about. You get to tell pretty quick sometimes, like which ones seem like they're going to be there and which ones probably aren't. Sometimes it's just the way that the assignment is as far as the information they give. Sometimes it's which lender it is. Some lenders are worse than others with like really bad addresses and stuff. So yeah, So I had the one before, so the one I have on the hook was one I had a lot of hope for, but the one that right before it I had a lot of hope for as well. But when I got over there, the house was being gutted, completely gutted, construction zone. So it probably is still where they're getting their mail and where everything, you know, where it's all happening. They may even be like renting a house down the street, and I just can't see in the dark down these long driveways and stuff. So anyway, that one was I had a lot of hope for that one too, just based on like the durability of that address over time. Made me think that they weren't the moving around type of people, you know what I mean? So I had hope, but those hopes were dashed. Boom, 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 boom. But you know, it's been a while since I've gotten one of these. Since I've gotten a front wheel drive vehicle that was backed into its parking spot. I didn't have to drag it out. I didn't have to use dollies. I didn't have to use the skates to get it out of its spot. I didn't have to drag it on gravel like I did last week with one of the ones I had to get. You know, dragging it through the gravel so I could get it from the front. This one was backed in, just, you know, set up so I could just back under it and get gone. So we did call the police and file the police report that we made a repossession. And so when they wake up and their car's gone, they'll get our information. They'll call us. We'll let them know what happened. Sometimes they already know what happened and they don't call. But other times they you know, they think they just got towed for, like, you know, not having a permit when they park, or, you know, something like that. But anyway, so we handled our business out here, and now we're gonna head back to Nashville and keep on trucking with our night, see if we can't get a couple more before it gets too late. Alright, we got that thing parked in the lot, and now we're on our way to go run these other addresses. We did run one in Nashville on our way in there, but no dice. But anyway, if you watched the video last Friday into Saturday morning, we knocked a bunch of addresses off the list. And so I felt like we were kind of zeroing in on maybe some of the addresses where the vehicles have the highest chance of being, and we, for whatever reason, just ended up hitting a lot of the lower percentage addresses, like, you know, alternate addresses, ones that are like, you know, if it's not at the first address, then check these other ones. But just the way that the route kind of worked out, I ended up at all those kind of addresses, and I didn't end up at the kind of higher percentage addresses. So we crossed a lot of addresses off the list on Friday and Saturday morning, and so today I have high hopes for the next two that we're going to, maybe even three if we have time. So that's the plan right now. It was cold when we put that car in the lot. It was 27 degrees outside, so I know it's not that cold, but remember, I'm from California, okay? It felt pretty dang cold to me. But anyway, I'll live. Oh yeah, if you watch that video, that Friday to Saturday video as well, then you probably heard me talking about the thunderstorms that we're going to be rolling through on Saturday. Sure enough, man, we had significant thunderstorms, dropping tornadoes in our area in Middle Tennessee. A couple tornadoes that did significant damage and caused harm and loss of life. exact death toll is at this moment, but I know there were deaths, and that's no good. No good. Preliminary measurements were like EF3 in Clarksville and then EF2 in Hendersonville. But I mean, Hendersonville is pretty densely populated, so for it to go through there is just pretty crazy. Yeah. So I mean, pretty crazy. You know, just the frequency with which we got to keep our eyes on the weather around here. I saw someone say, you know, Dixie Alley is the new Tornado Alley, which, you know, we're in Dixie Alley. We're in the northern part of Dixie Alley. Other people were like, no, it's not any more, you know, any more than there used to be. It's just, you know, the areas are more populated. It's hard for a tornado to touch down in Middle Tennessee without it causing structural damage and harm to people and infrastructure, because there's just a lot more people here than there used to be. So anyway, I don't know which one's true. I just know being from California, you know, I was kind of fascinated by tornadoes, and now having one hit, you know, 5 miles from our house in our little town that we live in, and then you know, not even a year later see 2 more touchdown. You know, kind of in my territory. I was up in Clarksville on Friday night, and actually went from Clarksville down into Madison and down into Goodlettsville and down into Hendersonville that night. So you know, the areas that were affected by the tornadoes are my territory, my areas. Shout out to Capital One, by the way. I don't have them as a direct client, but I do work for them through a broker, through a forwarder, and they put a bunch of accounts on hold, and I kind of just went through and I started looking at them like, man, why are they putting all these on hold? It was kind of like a pretty substantial group of assignments they put on hold, and then I realized they're all from those zip codes that were affected by the tornadoes. And so you know, shout out to them, man. I think that's really cool, because even if you're not, you know, weren't directly impacted by the tornado, your property, your belongings, that kind of thing, you know, in these small communities around here, everybody knows someone, you know, or you know, you want to be able to pool your resources as a community as well, and you don't want to penalize people for that. So anyway, I thought it was really cool of Capital One Auto Finance, or whatever it is. I just noticed it was all those. It was Madison and Goodlettsville and Hendersonville, where they put a lot of my assignments anyway on hold. So I'm assuming that's what it was. I mean, it would be a massive coincidence if, you know, if it wasn't that. So anyway, shout out to them, and we'll get down here, we'll run a few of these addresses, see if we can't drum up some more units. We got one, we gotta get more. Always need more, always more. All right, well, I just wasted a lot of time. I was at I hate it when large apartment complexes just have one address, and so I don't get a unit number. And even if I did have a unit number, sometimes you just check the whole parking area anyway, because they could be parking it in a place that's not in front of their unit. But anyway, and then I was looking for a very common car, so in a fairly common color. So I was just sitting there for a long time trying to figure out, you know, trying to figure out if one of the cars was it. I found one that looked like it. They had covered the VIN number, but the tag didn't match. But you know, if they covered the VIN number, then it's possible they, you know, swapped a tag or did something to try and hide the car. So yeah, no luck there. I'm gonna keep on going. Got a couple more addresses to hit on my way home, but it is late, so I should be heading home soon. But I just can't skip these last two. They're not on my way home, but they're not out of my way too much, you know. So yeah, we're gonna swing by these, and then we'll get home after 5, and we'll have to try to get some sleep. But I always do my lot stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesdays and Thursdays I always have appointments booked to release personal property, release vehicles to transporters, all that kind of stuff. I schedule on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So tomorrow's Tuesday, or today's Tuesday, I should say. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit of sleep, and then I gotta head into Nashville and make sure that everything stays moving the way it should, man. Moving the way it should. But I'm gonna check out these next couple addresses. I'll talk to you guys when I get home. All right, we're gonna wrap up the video now. It's now a few hours later. I got a few hours sleep, and now I'm headed to the lot in Nashville. Stopped to get some fuel. Oh, there we go. So I forgot to wrap up the video earlier when I was going home to sleep because I was tired. So forgot to do it. And also I was surprised because Gus and Jessica were already awake at like 5:15 in the morning. So anyway, we didn't get anything on the hook the last couple addresses we ran. So yeah, today's a new day. We got a few hours sleep. Now we're gonna do our running around. I'll probably run a couple of daytime addresses and then go home and get some sleep. So that's the plan. But I'll catch up with you guys on the next one. All right.